When 9-year-old Kai Musk sneaks into his father's office to show him a model rocket, he discovers something shocking. The great Elon Musk, billionaire genius creator of Tesla and SpaceX, sitting alone at his desk, crying. The words Kai speaks in that moment will change everything, setting off a chain of events that leads to a secret project, mysterious visions of the future, and a desperate mission to save Earth from an asteroid on a collision course with our planet as father and son work together to prevent global catastrophe. They've discovered that the most powerful force in the universe isn't technology, it's the connection between them. Kai Musk wasn't supposed to be at the SpaceX office that day. His dad had a big meeting, and Kai was meant to stay in the special waiting room with Priya, his dad's assistant. But sitting still for 3 whole hours was too much to ask of any 9-year-old boy, especially one as curious as Kai. "I'm just going to use the bathroom," Kai told Priya, who nodded without looking up from her computer. But Kai didn't go to the bathroom. Instead, he walked down the long white hallway toward his dad's office. He had something important to show him. A model rocket he built all by himself. Well, almost by himself. Miss Rodriguez, his science teacher, had helped a little with the fins. But Kai had painted the whole thing in SpaceX colors, white and black with a tiny red X that he'd drawn very carefully. The rocket was in his backpack. He'd wrapped it in his t-shirt to keep it safe. Kai was sure his dad would be proud of him. Maybe he'd even put it on his desk next to all the important papers and the pictures of real rockets. As he got closer to his dad's office, Kai slowed down. He knew he wasn't supposed to interrupt when his dad was working. Elon Musk was a very busy man. That's what everyone always said. "Your father is changing the world," his mom would tell him when Kai complained about his dad missing dinner again. "He's working to make the future better for you." Kai didn't really understand how electric cars and rockets made his future better. He just knew they took his dad away a lot. The door to his dad's office was closed, but not all the way. There was a small crack just enough for Kai to peek through. He could hear something strange. It sounded like breathing, but not normal breathing. More like the way Kai breathed after he fell off his bike last summer and scraped his knee really bad. Curiously, Kai pushed the door open a little wider and looked inside. What he saw made him freeze in place. His dad, the great Elon Musk, who built rocket ships that flew to space and came back again, who made cars that could drive themselves, who wanted to take people to Mars someday, was sitting at his desk with his face in his hands. His shoulders were shaking, and he was making those strange breathing sounds. He was crying. Kai couldn't believe it. His dad never cried. His dad was always strong, always in control, always 3 steps ahead of everyone else. Kai had seen his dad angry before. He'd seen him tired, frustrated, even sad when one of their rockets exploded during a test flight. But he'd never ever seen him cry. For a moment, Kai thought about backing away quietly. This felt private, like something he wasn't supposed to see. But before he could move, his dad looked up and saw him standing in the doorway. "Kai." His dad's voice was rough. He quickly wiped his eyes with the back of his hand, but it was too late. Kai had already seen the tears. "What are you doing here? I thought you were with Priya." Kai clutched the straps of his backpack, suddenly feeling like he'd done something wrong. "I wanted to show you something." His dad sighed. He looked different than usual, smaller somehow, even though he was still sitting in his big office chair behind his big desk. His eyes were red, and there were dark circles under them, like he hadn't slept in days. "Come in," his dad said finally. "Close the door." Kai stepped into the office and pushed the door shut behind him. The click of the latch seemed very loud in the quiet room. Usually his dad's office was busy with people coming and going, phones ringing and screens showing rocket tests and car designs, but today it was just the 2 of them. "I'm sorry," Kai said, though he wasn't sure what he was sorry for. His dad shook his head. "No, I'm sorry you had to see me like this." He gestured for Kai to come closer. "What did you want to show me?" Remembering his rocket. Kai shrugged off his backpack and unzipped it carefully. He unwrapped the model from his t-shirt and held it out. "I made it in science class," he explained. "Miss Rodriguez helped me with the design, but I built it myself. See, it's a Falcon 9, like the ones you make. I even painted it." "Right." His dad took the model rocket, turning it over in his hands. For a moment, Kai was afraid he might start crying again, but instead, a small smile appeared on his face. "This is really good, Kai. You got all the details right?" He pointed to the grid fins near the top. "Even these, most people forget about these, but they're what helped the rocket steer itself back down for landing." Kai smiled, proud that his dad had noticed. "I watched videos of the landings to get it right," Ms. Rodriguez said. "I was very, very particular." "That's a good thing to be when you're building rockets," his dad said. He set the model down carefully on his desk. "Thank you for showing me." There was an awkward silence. Kai shifted from one foot to the other, trying to think of what to say. Should he ask his dad why he was crying? Was that allowed? Before he could decide, his dad spoke again. "Kai," he said, and his voice sounded strange again, like he was having trouble getting the words out. "I'm not okay." That surprised Kai even more than the tears. His dad never admitted weakness, never said he couldn't do something, never showed doubt. "What's wrong?" Kai asked. His dad looked at him for a long moment, then sighed. "Come here, buddy. I need to tell you something." He pulled another chair close to his and patted the seat. Kai sat down, suddenly feeling scared. Was his dad sick? Was that why he was crying? His dad reached out and put a hand on Kai's shoulder. His touch was gentle, almost hesitant. "Do you know what day it is today?" Kai thought for a moment. "Tuesday." That made his dad smile a little. "Yes, it's Tuesday, but it's also a special day, or I guess I should say a hard day for me." He paused, then reached for something on his desk that Kai had never noticed before. A small silver picture frame turned away, so you couldn't see the photo from the front of the desk. His dad turned the frame around. Inside was a picture of a small boy, maybe 3 or 4 years old, with bright eyes and a big smile. He was sitting on someone's shoulders. His dad's shoulders. Kai realized, and reaching up like he was trying to touch the sky. "This," his dad said quietly, "was my first son. His name was Nevada, and today is the anniversary of the day he died." Kai stared at the picture, feeling a strange mix of emotions. He had brothers Xavier and Griffin and a sister Vivian, but he'd never heard of Nevada before. "What happened to him?" Kai asked. His dad's fingers tightened slightly on his shoulder. "He died when he was just a baby. Sid's sudden infant death syndrome. He went to sleep and never woke up." His voice cracked a little. "It was a long time ago, before you were born. I don't talk about him much. It hurts too much." Kai didn't know what to say. His dad, the man who wanted to save the world and take humanity to the stars, couldn't save his own son. "I'm sorry, Dad," he whispered. His dad nodded. "So now you know why I was crying. Every year on this day, I remember him and wonder what he would be like now, what kind of person he would have become." Kai looked at the picture again. The little boy in it would be a teenager now, or maybe even in college. A big brother he never got to meet. "But Kai," his dad continued, his voice growing stronger, "that's not the only reason I was crying today. There's something else, something I've never told anyone about." Kai looked up at his dad, surprised again. His dad had secrets that no one knew. "What is it?" he asked. His dad's eyes were serious now. I think you're old enough to know, but you have to promise me that what I'm about to show you stays between us. Can you promise me that? Kai nodded solemnly. I promise, Dad. His father took a deep breath. Okay, then let me show you. Project Phoenix. Elon stood up and walked to a plain white wall in his office. There were no pictures on it, no shelves, nothing special about it at all. But when Elon placed his hand flat against the wall and pressed, Kai heard a soft click. To Kai's amazement, a section of the wall slid open. There was a hidden room behind it that Kai had never seen before, even though he'd been to his dad's office many times. Whoa, Kai whispered. His dad smiled a little at Kai's reaction. Come on, he said, motioning for Kai to follow. Kai stepped through the hidden door behind his father. Inside was a small room, much smaller than his dad's main office. The walls were covered with screens showing all kinds of things. Numbers, graphs, pictures of brains, and lines of code that Kai couldn't understand. In the middle of the room was a single chair with what looked like a helmet attached to it, connected to a bunch of machines with blinking lights. What is all this? Kai asked, turning in a slow circle to take it all in. His dad sat down in the chair, but didn't put on the strange helmet. This is my secret project, he explained. I've been working on it for years, but I've never told anyone about it. Not your mom, not your brothers or sister, not the people at Tesla or SpaceX. No one. Kai felt a thrill run through him. His dad shared everything with the world, his dreams of Mars, his fears about robots taking over, his plans for tunnels under cities. What could be so special that he kept it hidden from everyone? What does it do? Kai asked, pointing at the helmet. His dad looked at the helmet for a long moment before answering. It helps me understand my dreams, he said finally. That wasn't what Kai expected your dreams like when you're sleeping. Yes, but not regular dreams. His dad tapped one of the screens, and it showed a picture of a brain, with different parts lit up in bright colors. Regular dreams happen in this part of the brain. He pointed to one colored area. But I've been having dreams that happen in this part. He pointed to a different area, the part that we use for solving problems and predicting what will happen. Kai frowned, not really understanding. Are they bad dreams? His dad's face grew serious again. Some of them are very bad, Kai. And that's the problem, because I think they're more than just dreams. I think they might be visions, like seeing the future. Kai asked, his eyes wide. Maybe his dad ran a hand through his hair, making it stick up even more than usual. At first I thought they were just weird dreams, but then some of the things I dreamed about actually happened. Exactly the way I saw them. Like what? Kai couldn't help asking. Like the explosion of our first Falcon 9 when it tried to land on the drone ship. I dreamed about it 3 months before. It happened down to the exact way the rocket tipped over. His dad's voice was quiet. I dreamed about the big floods in Houston before they happened. I dreamed about the power grid failing in Texas. Kai felt a chill. His dad could see bad things before they happened. Can you change them? The bad things in your dreams. That's what I've been trying to figure out with Project Phoenix. His dad gestured at all the equipment I've been recording my brain activity while I sleep, trying to understand if these dreams are really different from normal ones. And I've been looking for patterns, things that might tell me if I can change what I see. Kai thought about this, like how in the movies people try to stop bad things from happening when they see the future, but sometimes they just make them happen anyway. His dad smiled. You've been watching too many sci-fi movies. But yes, kind of like that. I need to know if what I see is definitely going to happen, or if it's just one possible future that can be changed. He stood up and went to another screen. This one showed what looked like a calendar, with some dates marked in red. See these? These are days when I had special dreams. And these, he pointed to some dates with stars next to them. Or when those dreams came true, Kai counted the E-stars. There were 7 of them. So you were right, 7 times. Yes, his dad touched one of the dates without a star and wrong. Once I dreamed a launch would fail, but it didn't. I think that's because I made changes after the dream. Extra checks backup systems. Kai felt relieved, so you can stop the bad things from happening. Maybe, but I need to be sure. His dad pointed to an empty chair in the corner. Sit down, Kai. There's more. I need to tell you, and it's hard. Kai sat down, suddenly feeling nervous again. His dad pulled his own chair over to sit facing him, their knees almost touching. Last night, I had the worst dream yet. His dad said he looked so tired, so worried that Kai wanted to hug him. But something told him to stay still and listen. I saw something coming toward Earth. Something big. Like what Kai asked his voice. Small an asteroid. His dad said, a giant rock from space, like the one that killed the dinosaurs millions of years ago. Kai had learned about that in school, but that was super big, like mountain big. This one is big too. Not as big as that one, but big enough to cause terrible damage. His dad leaned forward. In my dream, I saw it hit Earth 1 year from now. The scientists haven't spotted it yet, but they will soon. And when they do, they'll panic, because there won't be enough time to stop it unless we start. Working on the solution right now. Kai felt his stomach flip. Is that why you were crying? Because you saw everyone? He couldn't finish the sentence. His dad nodded slowly. Partly, but also because I don't know how to tell people what I know without sounding crazy. Who would believe that I can see the future in my dreams? They'd think I'd lost my mind. Kai thought about this. Could you just tell them you figured it out, with math or something? You're super smart. People would believe that. A small smile crossed his dad's face. That's not a bad idea. Actually, I could say I've been running calculations on near-Earth objects. What's Project Phoenix for? Then Kai asked, looking around at all the screens again. Phoenix is a bird in old stories that dies and comes back to life from its own ashes. His dad explained. I named the project that because it's about second chances. Seeing something terrible and getting a chance to stop it. Before it happens, Kai reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, smooth stone. It was dark gray with flecks of blue, and he'd found it on a beach last summer. He'd kept it because it reminded him of the view of Earth from space in the pictures his dad had shown him. Here, he said, holding it out. This is my lucky stone. Maybe it will help you. His dad looked surprised, but he took the stone and held it in his palm. Thank you, Kai, he said softly. Dad? Kai asked, have your dreams ever been wrong? Besides that one time with the rocket, his dad closed his fingers around the stone. No, he admitted. That's the only time. But maybe that means we can change this one too. We? Kai asked. His dad reached out with his free hand and squeezed Kai's shoulder. Yes, we. I think I was meant to show you this today. I think you're supposed to help me. But what can I do? I'm just a kid. His dad smiled, and this time it reached his eyes. You already did something important. You reminded me I'm not alone. And sometimes, Kai, that makes all the difference in the world. Kai felt a warm glow in his chest at his dad's words. His dad, who everyone said was the smartest man in the world, thought he was important. Can I see more? Of Project Phoenix? Kai asked, looking around the small hidden room with new interest. Sure, his dad stood up and went to one of the screens. This shows the data from my brain when I'm having one of those special dreams. He pointed to colorful waves that moved across the screen. See how this part lights up? That's not normal for regular dreams. Kai nodded like he understood, even though the lines and colors didn't make much sense to him. And over here, his dad continued moving to another screen. I've been mapping all the things I've dreamed about. And when they happened, this screen showed a world map with dots scattered across it. Some were red, others blue or green. What do the colors mean? Kai asked. Red for disasters, blue for technology, breakthroughs, green for politics. His dad tapped one of the red dots. A small window popped up, showing pictures of a big storm over a city. This was Hurricane Maria. I dreamed about it 3 weeks before. It formed. Kai frowned. If you knew it was coming, why didn't you warn people? His dad's face fell. I tried. I made an anonymous call to the weather service, but without proof. What could I say? I had a dream about a hurricane. They would have thought it was a prank call. That's why you need Project Phoenix. Kai realized. To prove your dreams are real. Exactly. His dad ruffled Kai's hair. You catch on quick. So what else have you got in here? Kai asked, moving deeper into the room. There was something that looked like a 3D printer in one corner, but bigger than any he'd seen before. That's a prototype, his dad explained. It's for a new kind of sensor that might be able to detect the asteroid before regular telescopes can see it. Cool, Kai said, touching the smooth metal surface carefully. Did you build it yourself? Yes, at night, when everyone else had gone home. This whole project has to stay secret until I have enough proof. Kai felt special being let in on such a big secret. But then he thought of something worrying. Dad, if you tell people about the asteroid, won't they want to know how you found out about it? His dad nodded. That's the problem I've been trying to solve. I need to find a way to discover it through normal means. Like with this, Kai patted the sensor machine, maybe. Or I could release some research papers with calculations that point in the right direction. So when astronomers look where I suggest, they'll find it themselves. Kai thought this sounded like a good plan. But what if no one believes your calculations? His dad's face grew serious again. Then I'll have to reveal what I know and hope someone takes me seriously. They spent the next hour in the secret room with his dad, showing Kai more of the equipment and explaining his research. There were machines that measured brainwaves, computers running simulations of asteroid paths, and even a small telescope that could see through the ceiling window his dad had hidden under a fake air vent. This is amazing, Kai said, trying to take it all in. How long have you been working on this? Almost 3 years, his dad replied. Since the dreams started getting more frequent and specific. Kai thought about all the times his dad had been working late or seemed distracted at home. Is this why you're always so busy, eh? Flash of guilt crossed his dad's face. Partly. I'm sorry I haven't been around as much as I should be. Running Tesla and SpaceX takes a lot of time. And then there's this. He gestured at the room. But I'm doing it all for you, Kai. For your future. I know, Kai said. Though sometimes he wished his dad would just come to his soccer games instead of trying to save the world. His dad seemed to read his thoughts. How about this weekend we do something together? Just the two of us. Maybe camping. Kai's eyes lit up. Really, you're not too busy. I'm never too busy. For you. His dad said, though they both knew that wasn't always true, especially now that we're partners in this. Partners, Kai repeated, liking the sound of it. Just then, a gentle beep came from his dad's watch. He looked down and frowned. That's my reminder for the board meeting. I need to go. He hesitated, then asked, Can you keep this a secret, Kai? It's really important that no one knows about Project Phoenix yet, not even your mom or your brothers and sister. Kai nodded solemnly. I promise. His dad smiled and picked up Kai's model rocket from his desk. I'm going to keep this right here to remind me of what we're fighting for, and I'll keep your lucky stone with me too. He slipped the stone into his pocket. Now you better get back to Priya before she sends out a search party. As they left the secret room, the wall panel slid closed behind them, looking just like a normal wall again. Kai would never have guessed what was hidden behind it, if his dad hadn't shown him Dad. Kai asked as they walked toward the office door. Are you scared about the asteroid? I mean, his dad stopped and knelt down so they were eye to eye. Yes, he said honestly. I'm scared, but I'm also hopeful because now I'm not facing it alone. He gave Kai a quick hug. Thank you for that gift. It's better than any model rocket. Even though the rocket is pretty awesome, Kai asked with a small smile. His dad laughed. Even though the rocket is definitely awesome. He stood up and opened the door. Now scoot, I'll see you at home tonight. As Kai walked back down the hallway to the waiting room, he felt different. Bigger somehow. More important. His dad had trusted him with the biggest secret in the world, and somehow Kai was going to help him save everyone from a giant space rock. But first he had to pretend everything was normal when he got back to Priya. He practiced making his face. Look bored like a kid who had just gone to the bathroom, and not like someone who had just learned the world might end in a year. Being a superhero's partner. Kai was learning meant being good at keeping secrets. When he got back to the waiting room, Priya looked up from her computer. There you are. I was about to come looking for you. Did you get lost? Kai shook his head. No, I went to see my dad. Priya's eyebrows shot up. You what, Kai? Your father is very busy. You know you're not supposed to interrupt him when he's working. It's okay, Kai said, trying to sound casual. He wasn't mad. Priya looked like she didn't believe him, but she didn't argue. Well, his meeting starts in 5 minutes, so you're lucky you didn't get caught in the middle of that. The board members don't like delays. Kai just nodded and sat down, pulling out his tablet to play games. But he couldn't focus on the colorful blocks falling down the screen. His mind was full of asteroids and secret rooms and his dad's tearful face when he talked about Nevada. That night at dinner, Kai watched his dad carefully. To everyone else, he seemed normal, checking his phone between bites, asking Xavier about his coding project, reminding Vivian about her piano recital next week. But Kai could see the worry hidden behind his eyes, the way he sometimes stared into space for a few seconds. Before snapping back to the conversation, Dad found time for a camping trip this weekend. Kai announced suddenly. His mom looked surprised. Really? That's wonderful. His dad nodded, catching Kai's eye with a small smile. Just Kai and me. I promised him some father-son time. Griffin groaned. How come Kai gets to go camping? I want to go too. We'll do something special soon, their dad promised. But this trip is just for Kai and me. Later, as Kai was getting ready for bed, his dad came to his room. Smart move at dinner, he said, sitting on the edge of Kai's bed. Announcing our trip in front of everyone means I can't back out now. Kai grinned. I figured you might get busy. His dad's smile faded. Kai, about Project Phoenix. I've been thinking maybe I shouldn't have shown you. It's a big burden for a kid to carry. I'm not a baby. Kai protested. I can handle it. I know you're not a baby, but this is scary stuff even for adults. His dad ran a hand through his hair, making it stick up again. I don't want you having nightmares. Do you have nightmares? Kai asked. Besides the special dreams, I mean. His dad was quiet for a moment. Sometimes, he admitted. When I'm worried about making the wrong choice, or not solving a problem in time, Kai thought about this. Is that why you work so hard? Because you're scared of making mistakes? A surprised look crossed his dad's face. That's actually pretty insightful, Kai. He smiled woefully. Yes, I think that's part of it. I'm afraid of failing when the stakes are high, but you don't fail. Kai said you make rockets that can land themselves in cars that drive without people. You're the smartest person in the world. His dad laughed softly. I'm definitely not the smartest person in the world, and I've failed plenty of times. The first rockets I built exploded. The first Tesla cars had problems, but I kept trying until I got it right. So you'll figure out the asteroid too, Kai said confidently. His dad reached out and ruffled his hair. "With your help, I will." That night, Kai had trouble falling asleep. He kept thinking about the asteroid hurtling through space toward Earth. In his mind, it was as big as a mountain, just like the one that killed the dinosaurs. He imagined it hitting the ocean and causing huge waves that would wash away cities, or hitting land and sending up a cloud of dust that would block the sun and make everything cold. When he finally did fall asleep, he had a strange dream. He was standing with his dad in a field, looking up at the night sky. His dad pointed at a star that was moving, getting brighter and bigger. "That's it," his dad said in the dream. "That's what I saw." But in Kai's dream, he could see something his dad couldn't, a second light following the first, smaller, but moving faster. He tried to tell his dad about it, but no words would come out of his mouth. Kai woke up with his heart pounding. The dream had felt so real. He could still see that second light in his mind, speeding after the first. At breakfast, his dad looked tired, like he hadn't slept well either. When no one else was looking, Kai whispered, "Did you have another special dream last night?" His dad shook his head.